Welcome to Coffee and Curveballs. I'm Tommy. He's Shooter. It is a draft episode. We're talking draft prospects, top 10 in the upcoming draft. Make sure, if you're an MLB fan, make sure you watch this video so you know who is going to be on your team 4 years from now, I guess. I don't know. We're going to start with number one. And here's a kid that when we first saw him looked very different than he looks now, doesn't he, Shooter?
Yeah, and be sure to go with prepbaseballreport.com, Draft HQ. Check out our big board technically here, but the PBR Draft Board. But you said it, number one on this list, Dylan Cruz. He's an outfielder at LSU. I remember seeing him for the first time as a freshman at Lake Mary High School in Florida at the preseason All-State event in Florida. He's about 5'10", 100, maybe 60 pounds. Soaking wet, gets behind the plate. Oh man, this kid's got some great pop time, some carry on the throws, looks athletic behind the dish, but then he got in the box, and that's what the game changer is for him right now. Went throughout his high school career, had a great career, could really hit, some swing and miss questions his senior summer, which I think may have downgraded him a little bit in the eyes of scouts' minds, but good for him because he went to school and probably made a significant chunk of change there. But he's as spirited hitter as there is in the country. He steps in the box. The opposing team is holding their breath. Works uphill through the zone. The thing that I like about him is he can adjust pitch to pitch. He's a hybrid hitter, can utilize the whole field. Serious barrel control and awareness. Everything jumps off the bat. He's looking to do damage in all counts. He can play center field, any spot on the diamond, a run producer. You don't think too much. This guy's probably that 1-1 pick as long as the Pirates are in situation to get him.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of kids grow in college, but 2 inches and 30 pounds definitely helps bump you up the boards. There's only two pitchers on this list, and one of them comes out of Tennessee.
Yeah, and that's Chase Dollander. And talking with our draft coverage from the collegiate side, David Seifert does such a great job. But he's saying right now, Chase Dollander is the top pitching prospect to come out of college since Garrett Cole came out of UCLA in 2011. It's a triple-digit fastball. Everything comes out super easy. He's getting whiffs in the zone, which is what you're paying lots of money for. About 6'3", 200 pounds. It jumps out of the hand. Starter profile, frontline type guy. He's in the SEC, dominated the SEC last year. I expect him to do the same this year. But it's just so clean. He started off at Georgia Southern. Was a guy we saw in high school during that COVID year. Even before that, always working 88 to 90. But the stuff is so good. He's going to jump. He's going to make those jumps. He certainly did once he got on the campus, and for good reason. I'd expect him to be a slam dunk top 5 pick, if not another 1-1 potential guy.
We'll go back to the outfield for number 3. It is outfielder Max Clark.
Yeah, we're sticking with Max Clark, who's our number 1 high school prospect right now. We talked about Dylan Cruz being that hybrid type guy. Max Clark at his best is a hybrid hitter. He can spray the ball to all fields. He sets up different counts depending on what he needs to do with those hands. He can manipulate that barrel. I think that the power will come over time. He definitely has it. It's a physical frame right now, and he has shown the ability to drive the baseball. I'd expect to see even more of that this spring, which will elevate him some more. And we're talking about a lot of guys right now who could go 1-1. Max Clark in our recent mock draft, our initial mock draft, was that 1-1 pick.
We have Walter Jenkins as number 4. Does he have a chance to be 1-1?
Walker Jenkins definitely has a chance to be 1-1. I talk about him kind of the way like Paul Bunyan. He has that type of folklore to him. Square-shouldered, 6'5", plays hard all the time. It's a blue-collar kid, about as good as it gets baseball IQ-wise, especially in the box. Swings a heavy barrel. I mean, really can turn that. I think he's got even more power on the way. He's going to hit to all fields, but that hit power potential and the fact that he plays at 110% at all times is going to be something that professional clubs absolutely adore.
We finally run into an infielder at number 5. It's a shortstop, Jacob Gonzalez out of Ole Miss.
Yeah, Jacob Gonzalez from California, though, out your way. Opted to go to the SEC.
They all end up at the SEC somehow. I don't know. Those schools down there, they know how to bring them in.
Definitely a recent trend for sure with those West Coast guys heading that way. And, you know, it really paid off for Jacob Gonzalez. He's a guy I saw in high school, really liked it. The frame's still maturing. Now he's 6'2", 200 pounds. He's filled out. That power's starting to play. Going to stick at shortstop. But what I really like about him at the plate is that he's really able to slow things down. His hands work really well. They're fluid at the dish. There's more pull side power right now, but I think he's going to be able to spray to all fields, hit at the top of an order. But really, he's got that California cool to him, slows things down.
Another shortstop named Jacob Wilson from Grand Canyon.
Hey, another California kid.
There we go.
2020 class. Look for some good articles on that coming soon. But yeah, Jacob Wilson has just elevated himself each year in college. Okay, he comes out kind of unknown a little bit out of Southern California, goes to GCU, has a good freshman year. Well, he keeps getting better. Now the whispers get louder. Like, have you seen this Wilson kid? He's doing some big things at GCU. He's doing great there. And now he explodes. So, a guy, again, we could talk about another 1-1 kid because he can stick at shortstop. You know what you're going to get when he steps into the box. He's going to give you a quality at bat. He trusts those hands so much that he can get some cheap swings early. He can look to do some intense damage early on that count because if he gets to 2 strikes, he doesn't care. He's just as equally confident at 2 strikes as he is with no strikes, which is something that's fun to watch. 6'3", about 180 pounds. I'd expect another big spring out of him. He's going to look to carry that GCU squad.
Well, half this list is SEC schools, so the 4th out of 5 that we're going to see from the conference is an outfielder, Langford, from Florida.
And shoot, if they're not already at SEC schools, they're committed there. And Langford, almost similar to Wilson, goes to the University of Florida, right? So he's a big name. He's going to the Gators. They bring in big-time recruits every year. They have some guys on campus, so he doesn't play as much as his freshman year, but goes in the summer, gets his work in, has a great summer in the Valley League in Charlottesville, gets back to campus for a sophomore campaign, explodes. Goes with Team USA, has a great summer there. This guy can really hit 6'1", 225. The exit velocities scream off the barrel. And when you're looking for the top guys in the draft who can hit the ball the hardest, who has those quick hands, can really handle big-time pitching. He's in the SEC. He hit about 350 last year. He can certainly do it with those power numbers. I think he has a chance to challenge Cruz for that top spot as the season goes on. We'll see how the spring shapes up. But a guy like that who wasn't quite as well known, okay, there's some more famous names. He goes to school, he puts his stamp and makes a name for himself, makes a lot of money for himself as well.
Quick little follow-up. So we have him, again, at 7 as an outfielder, but what if he played third, first base, or catcher? Would that put him up the board?
Without a doubt. He's got those corner defensive profiles, which is going to make him a utility type defensively. That bat's going to really carry him, get him in the lineup. But the fact that he's athletic enough to do multiple things on the diamond makes him much more valuable.
Well, a true third baseman from the same state, except for he's a high schooler, is Aiden Miller at number 8.
And I'd say he's kind of similar to a guy like Langford or Cruz. When you look at those right guys coming out of high school, can be tough to evaluate a bit. And a lot of scouting departments want to devalue those guys a little bit. They did it to Cruz. Shoot, coming out of high school, they did the same thing to him. Going to pay for it now. I think Aiden Miller is similar to that. Can really hit, utilizes the entire field. I love his presence in the box. It's almost that quiet air of confidence where I'm going to get a hit here. He expects success every time he gets to the plate. He's going to hit for power. He can hop on the bump. He'd probably be into the upper 90s right now if he was simply a pitcher. He was in the mid 90s a year and a half ago for me. So that presence is going to stick at third base, can really move. Good athlete out there. But again, the bat. For run producers, they hit the ball hard. They hit the ball far. Aiden Miller, I think, has a chance to get even better once he hits the professional ranks.
A guy who's been pretty popular, I guess, a popular name amongst college baseball, Enrique Bradfield Jr. from Vanderbilt. What do his prospects look like?
I mean, my man can fly.
I can run.
That speed really is a weapon. Left-handed bat. Every time I watch those games, I think of being a pitcher like, please don't let him get to first base. Please just don't let him get to first base because he's going to take second on me in a second. But obviously can really defend the glove and the speed. Work hand in hand in the outfield to make him a premium defender out there in center field. Top of the order guy. You really want those singles to turn into doubles, which they do because of the speed. We'll see what happens with him draft-wise, just because the power numbers aren't there right now. But he can really handle the barrel and he hits the baseball well. And I think that speed's such an impactful tool that it will drive him up. And athleticism's there. A couple tweaks. Hey, if you want to hit some home runs, I'm sure he can do it. But he's selling out for the Commodores right now for the team there, but I still expect him to be a slam dunk first rounder.
Yeah, and having seen him in a couple of TV games, what he does when he's on first base to the pitcher's head is unbelievable. I don't think I've seen more throwovers in my life. Yeah,
it's tough watching those weekend games at Vanderbilt because I don't get good sleep because I have recurring nightmares of guys stealing bags off me.
10th guy on the list from Oregon. It's a high schooler, Noble Meyer.
Yeah, and there's a whole host of guys who could move into this top 10 over time, and the discussion was very much heated, and some really good players in this first round, especially pitching wise, collegiate. There's some depth to it. Coming out of that COVID year, this is going to be a fun evaluation period. But Noble Meyer, top right-hander, top arm in this high school class right now at 6'5", 200 pounds. It's a mid to up 90s fastball, real easy, similar to Dollander out of the hand. He's got 3,000 plus RPM on the slider. Good changeup. It's frontline stuff. What I like most about him, and even more so than some of the Texas and Florida guys, Georgia, throw those guys in the mix, is there is some polish to it, but he has only played so much baseball. The innings have not worn him down by any means, and I think his ability to take it from here to that level, and to continue getting better is what drives him up this list and could ultimately move him higher. I think he's got a chance to hit triple digits this spring. That slider has a chance to be a real weapon. It's already on its way there. Frontline starter, you got to pay for that guy up front. And I think he's got a good chance for that to happen.
So I'm going to ask you this question before we get out of here. This list, top 10 for the draft class, right? Our big board, 8 of them field players, 2 pitchers. Do you think that's going to be the split when it comes down to it, or do you think we see more pitchers funnel into this top 10?
I think pitching will always kind of move its way up, especially some of the collegiate guys have a chance to explode in the spring. We'll have eyes on them. Guys like Paul Skeens, who's at LSU. There's a lot of really good arms, again, in the SEC that we could be talking about, Big 12. There's several there, but it's tough to steer away from those position guys who could be so impactful. And especially, we talked about a bunch of SEC guys. They've already proven it at a high level. The draft historically has shown that they will pay for guys like that. So we will see. It's going to be an awesome draft. I can't wait for it. And we will be out there all spring. In the winter preseason stuff, throughout the spring, on into the summer, the MLB Draft League, we'll be covering all sorts of stuff at prepbaseballreport.com, Draft HQ. Make sure to click on it. Check out our big board.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying, all it takes is one guy to throw triple digits out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden he's number 5 on the list or something like that. There's always one that comes out of nowhere. And as Shooter said, make sure you check out the website to see the extended version of this and all that good stuff. Shooter, thank you, and thank you guys for watching.